balding men who are desperate to get some hair back. They've been promised that their baldness will be cured. In Punjab's Sangrur, we saw several bald men rushing in to get their hair treatment done. Instead, 60 men ended up with an eye infection. During a camp at the Mata Kali Devi Temple, people were given the oil to apply on their scalp. And when they applied that oil, we hear it led to swelling of eyes, inflammation, and all of that was extremely painful. Many of them aren't still able to see. Two complaints have been filed against two men, Tejinderpal Singh of Sangrur and Amandeep Singh. In fact, like Turkey, they say is a very popular place where you can get your hair transplant done. Punjab is also another place where people more often go to get cheap hair transplant done or to get a quick fix through these oils. Now, both of them have been, we know one of them is still on the run, one of them has been arrested, complaints have been filed. But what happens? The Indian Medical Association addressing quackery through its anti-quackery wing. There's really no concrete punishment as such for these people who are rampant in most parts. The protection here was constituted by the government itself, but doesn't seem like it's adequately implied. The quackery that prevails in most parts in India, one finds it so hard to actually find genuine people who are doing genuine treatments. There's this angle of lengths where people are also willing to go. In fact, they would do anything for that matter. Also go to a quack to get their hair fixed. If a quack promises, even despite not having a certificate, people are willing to do anything to get their hair back. Also go to unverified people. But it's the job of the administrators, the government, to ensure that these people are put to check, they're streamlined. Let me take you through our guests joining us to tell us the repercussions of this. Dr. Anup Dheer, Senior Consultant, Cosmetic Surgeon at Apollo Hospital, Delhi, and former President, Indian Association of Aesthetic Plastic Surgery, joins us. Thanks very much, sir. If you give me your take on how people are so desperate to get some hair back, are willing to take treatments that are risky for them. Do you know of this that's happened in Punjab, that oil that has led to many of their health condition deteriorating, with people going blind with that oil?
Well, promising to grow hair by some treatment, that's a multi-billion-dollar industry all over the world. Every country, every continent has its own fixes how to achieve it. So, but the ultimate truth is that in male pattern baldness, ultimately you have to go in for hair transplant if you want good growth of hair, provided you have enough hair follicles the back of your head from where they can be transplanted. So people don't want to undergo surgery and they try all these so-called magic remedies, which are anyway banned under the law. There's a Magic Remedies Act in Indian statute, which is rarely followed, and nobody takes care of these quacks. There are civil surgeons and other health officials in every district in India, but they do not do anything to restrict these kind of quackery in the areas of their jurisdiction, unfortunately. And now, in this case particularly, they did not do any surgery. They just promised some kind of magic potion in which probably a lot of irritants were there. And some of the ingredients might have been causing allergy to few people. And once it went into their eyes when they washed their hair, the damage was done. And I don't know how many, what is the level of damage to the eyes, but it's definitely due to the irritation of the oil. And it can't, ultimately, it can cause further infection also of the eyes. So these people have to be treated on SOS basis.
Doctor, a quick word if I can ask you, is hair transplant really feasible? Does it really have an effect? And I know this is an oil, but there's also transplant that happens rampantly. How far and how long does that stay? And should one go
Well,
for it?
transplant, according to the Medical Council of India, the transplant should be performed by plastic surgeons or dermatologists and nobody else. But there are many letters to that effect, but it is rarely followed, and there's a lot of quackery going on. I've seen dentists, ENT surgeons, and other surgeons trying to do hair transplant, in their small clinics without any quality control. So this thing has to be stopped. Ultimately, the government job is to stop all this, what is happening. Hair transplant, as it is very effective, provided you have enough follicles. If the follicles are there, it's like breaking your fixed deposit to shift the money into your savings bank, which
Yeah.
is the front of your head. So it's quite effective, it's quite good, but ultimately it costs money, it costs a lot of care, and it costs a lot of maintenance as well.
Yeah.
So that's why people want to go in for a quick fix, and they unfortunately land up in this kind of situation.
Dr. Anup Dheer, really appreciate your time for joining us and giving us your take.